Welcome back, everyone, to the Temple of Technology. I am your host, Scott James Magner, the idiot with a microphone. I am the idiot, and this is my microphone. We are in the abbreviated temple tonight with green screen behind us, and I've pulled ourselves in a little bit, but it's not that much of an issue. And I was looking at my spreadsheet this morning. Actually, I did a lot of work on my character spreadsheet last night for City of Heroes. We're going to be playing City of Heroes tonight, by the way. Or specifically, City of Villains. And I was looking at when I had made certain characters and if they had progressed or not progressed. And I noticed that one of my stalkers, one of the first characters that I had made, relatively speaking, on this rejuvenated server, had been level 50 for a really long time but had not advanced, and I hadn't done a lot of anything but move him around the board. So I popped into the Valentine's event in Pocket D and got his level a little up there, but I was really not happy with the way the character was playing, so I decided to do a new build and a respec. And because it's a villain, you can get a free respec by doing a villain patron pool arc. And if you do that, you can get specifically cool powers. And so that's what I want to do tonight. I want to do the Ghost Widow patron power pool unlock. And that's what we're going to do. So let's head over to the game stream. Shoom. Here is my dual blade stalker. Sad clown laughing. It has a number of different costumes, but this is the one we're going to be playing tonight. For reasons. And if I pop over here to the build, here's the build that I worked up. It's based on a couple different builds that I saw online, but it's tooled towards my playstyle specifically, in that I like to use teleport and teleport binds. A lot of people are in favor of super speed, but with the ninja run accolade and set bonuses, you can get up to super speed speeds without having to sacrifice a lot of slots and utility that you get from both teleport and temporary powers like jetpacks. So we're going to circle back to this new build later. I just wanted to show, here is the mids program that I use, that many of us use to test our builds to see how things work, because it gives you a lot of information on powers as you go through. But specifically, it tells you what your totals are going to be, which is not so bad. Turn off the moment of glory. Ah, excellent. So there's a power called Moment of Glory, which is for tankers, scrappers, and stalkers. And when you turn on the Moment of Glory, in fact, I will just go to that power. Here we go. When you activate this power, you gain resistance and defense to all damage types except psionics. Recover endurance more quickly and are highly resistant to sleep. Disorient, immobilization, knockback, repel, and hold effects. So it's a huge power, and you notice here I am near the soft cap for defense and resistance, just with the build the way it is. Or how it will be when I get all the enhancements slotted in there. But when you turn on the Moment of Glory, you're way over the top. Everything is maxed out except for psionic. And so it's a cool power to have, and you should keep it accessible on your tray. So with that in mind, we're going to head back to camera 1 and our game stream, and we're going to pop in Alright, we're in Pocket D. I was here earlier tonight. Everyone over here is doing wedding stuff. But we're not going to do wedding stuff. We're going to turn on all our toggles. We're going to remove super speed from our tray because we're not going to use it anymore. It's not a travel power that we care about. The travel power we care about is this one. This rocket pack. So this is the rocket pack that you get as a starter character, and it lets you basically fly with a temporary power. You have 30 minutes of flight. Well, as you see here, you can pay in-game influence to purchase 5 hours of flight. And since you use flight 30 seconds at a time, you know, it's worth buying the 5 hours. So I have the cool stuff going on here. Gotta get myself a self-res. In addition to the res that I have as part of my build. And I believe there's a pistol I can pick up. So I'm gonna pick up that pistol as well. Revolver, look at that. I can purchase up to 300 shots. Yeah, we'll do that. Now I have 300 bullets. Alright, and you see those powers are here. So, here is the resuscitator power. We're going to put that up there. As will the temporary revive power that I have. The revolver we're going to put down here as an extra attack because. And I already have a keybind set for this rocket pack. Just so I can show that I've got it. And so if I hit the add button on my numpad. Oh, come on. Oh, I haven't entered it in yet. We'll enter it in right now. So the keybind is, as you'll see down here in my chat window, /bind. And then you name the button you want to bind something to. And I use the add button on the numpad. Quotes powexec_name and the name of the power, which is the rocket pack here. And then an end quote. So you just hit enter. And now I hit this button and my rocket pack turns on. And if I hit it again, it turns off. It's just that simple. It lets you fly, touch of a button, boom, boom. I've got pretty good movement power in the ninja run. Gonna go to my supergroup base. Now, you notice there's a red background screen because I'm playing a villain. Villain content. And if you look here, this is the teleporter that I usually use to get around. But it only can access Pocket D right now because all of these are hero zones that I have linked to that teleporter. Here I can get to the 2 Praetorian zones and the Rikti War Zone because the Rikti War Zone is a co-op. But usually all the Shadow Shard stuff would be available. And here I can get to Dark Astoria and Striga Isle, which are, again, co-op zones. But I would normally be able to get to all of these hazard zones, like Fault Line and the Hollows. These are hero areas. So I can't teleport to any of those places right now because I'm playing a villain. But here are all the beacons I have set for the Rogue Isles villain content. So here are the 2 Praetorian zones, the co-op Callisti Wharf zones, PvP zone, and here. And I need to get to Granville because that's where this Patron arc starts. Oh. Now this is a character that I had always meant to turn into a villain, but at the time there wasn't a lot of people playing villains, and it meant the content was kind of hard to get. You see here in my chat window all the people who are asking for stuff to do. That's all hero stuff. Villain content is few and far between. And we are going to look for Arbiter Douse as a contact, because he is the person who will give us what we want. That's odd. It's not showing up as a content for me. Let's go talk to one of the other arbiters anyway and see what happens. All right. Arbiter Douse is the respec guy. Arbiter Rain is the one I want, which is this guy right here. Ask about available missions. I would. Okay, so before I choose a patron, I should get a better idea of what each of them has to offer me. I'll go and read each of the plaques underneath the main statues of Black Scorpion, Captain Mako, Ghost Widow, and Sirocco. I will do that, thank you. I'll turn off my Technicolor jetpack. Alright. Here's a plaque to read. Sirocco, the desert wind, wields the elemental forces of nature and bends them to the service of Lord Recluse. With the powers of magic and the occult within Arachnos' ken, we shall always be victorious. Sirocco will instruct me on the way of Mu, an ancient technique to give access to lightning-based powers of the ancient race. That is not what I want. It's a big statue of Black Scorpion. Underneath it, Black Scorpion is power personified. A mere man transformed into a juggernaut to the revolutionary technology of Arachnos. He will stop at nothing to upgrade his armored exoskeleton. No pain, no suffering, no sacrifice is too much to ask for those truly loyal to Arachnos. Black Scorpion will give me access to an Arachnos mace and teach you how to use it in battle. I don't want that either. There's a big statue of Ghost Widow. Ghost Widow, once a humble Night Widow, has returned from the grave more powerful than ever. Death cannot quell the loyalty of a true servant of Arachnos, as Lord Recluse rules even over death itself. Ghost Widow will teach you how to corrupt and utilize the souls of the dead to damage and hinder your enemies. I want that one. But I have to read this other plaque here. For Captain Mako. And we're going to unlock Captain Mako later on a hero. Captain Mako is the ocean's worthy tribute to Lord Recluse, the world's alpha predator by right of birth. He puts the fear of Arachnos in the heart of our enemies. Utterly fearless, brutally efficient, and absolutely lethal. Serve well or be devoured. Captain Mako will embolden you with knowledge of the Coralax and their mysterious powers over the seas. I have a marine-themed character, and I want him to be able to summon sharks and stuff. So I am going to pick this patron power instead of one of the hero unlock powers. Alright, having done all that, I have to go back here and talk to Arbiter Rain and pick a patron. Be introduced to a new contact, and now I pick one. The deadly and undead wraith called the Ghost Widow is one of the most trusted members of Lord Recluse's inner circle. She was once a Night Widow assassin, but after her death she became something much more. Now, as a ghost, she has been bound to Arachnos and haunts the Rogue Isles, hunting down the foes of Lord Recluse. She commands the Widows Unfortunatas of Arachnos and is often protected by her bodyguard, the mutated creature called the Wretch. That is what I want. I am sure. Alright, so I go and find Ghost Widow in here. And then she will give me missions. It is a lot easier to unlock patron power pools if you just pick Black Scorpion. But it's a better stream, I think, to do Ghost Widow. So that's what I'm going to do. Here's Ghost Widow, and here are her attendants behind her. One of the destined of Arachnos comes to me, and with high praise from the arbiters. You'll left a trail of wreckage and bodies in your wake. Shattered dreams and broken lives, and this is only the beginning. Now, let us see what nightmares we can unleash together. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like fun. Ask about available missions. The Mystic Mayhem. I have agreed to work with you, sad clown laughing. But know this, I do not trust you. Oh, it's not that I have anything in particular against you. It's just that I was very short on trust when I died, and the dead cannot change. Though that also means I have little to worry about physical harm, you could hurt my political standing within Arachnos, or worse. You could harm my Lord Recluse. So you must excuse me if I regard our relationship with some trepidation. Still, you can be useful to me, particularly for more dangerous things. For example, Longbow has attacked a secret Arachnos facility. Arachnos! I had constructed on Mercy Island, a facility where I've stored some important things. It would not do to see the items within that base fall into heroic hands. I must go at once to stop the attack. Stop the attack. Alright. And there's a bunch of different things we can do in here. But we're going to go to Mercy Island. And the quickest and easiest way to get around is to go through the Ouroboros portal. Going to go to dimension, another dimension, another dimension, another dimension. And teleport to... Oh, I can't get to Mercy Island here. Okay, well, that's interesting. You can get to Atlas Park, but not Mercy Island. There's a waste of time, but at least you got to see Ouroboros. Okay, now I'm going to go to my super base portal. Which is another power I should have bought when I was up doing stuff. People are running incarnate trials right now in Ouroboros. I could have done one of those. I do need to do some incarnate trials. It's a good way to level up my character and get cool stuff. But Patron Unlock is the name of this stream. Mercy Island. Click. And since I can fly, it won't take me very long at all to get to that mission. What? Oh, she said the base was in Mercy Island. But the base is in fact in Granville. WTF? I gotta go back to Granville. Going back to Granville? I don't think so. I'm putting on a show for nobody, but you know, that's the way it goes. Okay, where is this mission? It's over here. And I'll zoom in here. Zoom, because I can fly. You see a number of powers on my tray that I am about to get rid of. Most notably the leadership pool. Don't need it, but I can hide. I am a dual blades regen stalker. And defeat all longbow and base. So I just sneak up on these guys. Hit them with these hilarious paddles that I use as my dual blades. Alright, and I'll show you why being a stalker is cool. So as soon as it says hidden up there, I'm going to roll up on this guy and assassinate him with an assassin's strike. You can take out almost any enemy in the game with that attack. And it has a special enhancement you can put in it that will give a chance to recharge the skill and hide you once you perform it properly. So there's a longbow nullifier there. We're going to roll up on him. Oops. See, I made a tactical error. I used the wrong skill to attack. In doing so, exposed myself to retaliation from the longbow here. The longbow are a paramilitary organization in the Paragon City who essentially are super cops. And I have to take out all these dudes on my own. Which is why you take out the big ones first. Give myself a little extra bonus there. I just got a badge. I think I got a badge for dealing 1 million damage. Relentless. I've inflicted 1 million points of damage upon my foes. Most excellent. What are the next badges I am close to completing? take 500,000 points of damage, which, you know, entirely possible. Remove 1,000,000 points of debt. Collect costumes by trick-or-treating. That's funny. 200 badges. Arsonists, emanators. Okay. Who's the toughest guy in this room? It's this guy. So we'll take him out first. So Stalkers kind of get a bad rap because they are not scrappers, but they fill the scrapper role of burst melee damage. They're just not as good at it as they are at sneaking around and assassinating people. So when you have time to set up and plan your attacks, you can take out just about anything. But when you don't have that time, I also forgot to turn off so that Guardian is a good guy-ish. Let's see if there's more stuff to fight over here. There are more things to fight over here. So before I progress the story a little bit, just want to take out as many mobs as I can. That way we don't have to backtrack. And I have set this to be slightly more difficult than basic and slightly more bad guys than normal. So plus one, 2 characters. If you do this with a group, you'd set it to +4, +8, so everyone gets lots of XP. This guy here is a stalker, like me. He is hiding. But I found him. And I took him out with my hilarious paddles. Slapping him in the face. Yeah, this guy is badly in need of a respec. He's not optimized for endurance the way I would normally optimize a character for endurance. I didn't even have a build recorded for this character until this afternoon, so... And now I've got this guy who's going to fight with me. And I'm going to take him around. He floats slow. Arachnos! is pretty big on these crates. Alright, we're going to go for this mender. That is a... I'm going to buff up before I head in there. Make sure that I've got all the stuff I need. So you see, I'm not having too much difficulty slapping these guys around, but it is a longish arc. So we may have to take a break for a beverage here in a moment. So you may notice on my tray that some of my powers are getting little circles around them. And that is happening because Dual Blades is a set that has a number of synergies between the powers. I have to turn on my moment of grace here if I'm not careful. By building up stacks of power, you earn extra damage. Now there is a badge for unlocking all of the Patron story arcs. And I may go for that. It may just be what I do on this character. In fact, I'm going to take all of these off. Remove from tray. I'm not using them, so we're going to ignore that they exist. This is something I do a lot when I'm about to respec. I could be using them. Just get into the habit of not using them so that your fingers and your muscle memory get used to the powers you actually have. And I've got 115 characters, right? Very few of them duplicate powers and playstyles. Almost. A few of them have essentially the same build, like a lot of my corruptors, the G-Girls, have got more or less the same build. I just switched up the primaries and secondaries. Oh, look at that. There's ambushes. I am being ambushed. More elevators. Hooray. Power up a little bit. Oh, look at that. Alright, so I have a self resurrection power. I triggered it. It has a 3-minute cooldown, so that'll come in very useful for me. So I run back here to turn on my 2 toggles, reapply some buffs, and head back into that fight. Turned on my moment of grace. Moment of glory, rather. The reason why you don't run with this on all the time is that it has a pretty severe cooldown crash. So when the power wears off, you may be stuck without endurance for a little bit, or the ability to get endurance back. And so you want to do it when you know you can win the fight if you just don't have to worry about taking damage. Which is where I am now. Alright, taking some serious damage. That's good. We need for those badges you saw. Coming to the end of my moment of glory, so I'm hoping that I can just fight this. Didn't have too bad of a crash though, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'll be back up in 30 seconds. There is a badge for defeating longbow. There we go. 1,000 longbow. So we're going to keep that up on the screen. Dull pain turned on. Moment of glory. See, those powers all have a pretty severe cooldown. As long as you keep winning fights, it's not that big of a deal. I'm pretty close to leveling up, but I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna need to husband my resources. Set me on fire. I don't like being set on fire. In real life and in the game. Had to trigger the moment of glory. fairly famously, there's a villain group called the Cray Corporation, and they have superpowered clones called Paragon Protectors. And Paragon Protector elites are mostly scrappers with moments of glory. And you'll be fighting them, and all of a sudden they just go up in the air, and that means that for a few minutes you just can't do anything to them. I didn't get to click on the thing though. I gotta click on the thing. I found a clue! Alright, so I'm gonna leave this mission. And I'm gonna take a little break because my throat got really dry. And I am going to just pop downstairs and get a beverage. But I will leave you with a happy little video to watch. I'm going to fly back to go so we don't get the next mission first. It's just right here. So I'm starting a villain strike force that I could get on and do. It wouldn't stop my progress here, so it is kind of attractive to do because I get a bunch of XP and rewards while I am fighting my way through all this. But we'll stay the course, stay the stream. There were Mew present, sent by Sirocco. Interesting. How did he know of my base, or that it was under attack? I will need to speak with him at some length. I do not like this kind of interference in my affairs. Remember that, sad clown laughing. Still, what truly upsets me is that Longbow found that base at all. It's difficult for the dead to learn to trust, but you have done much for me. I think I will trust you. Contact me at any time. That means that now I can call her on the phone. I will free the mystic. Okay. And with that, I am going to send us to the intermission while I prepare a couple beverages to soothe my throat. Hello everyone, I am trying out a new bit of camera software today. This is Movie Pro for the iPhone, so I'm going to remove my Android phone from the tripod there. I'm going to drop my iPhone. That was fun. The main reason why I did this, not drop the iPhone, mind you, but try this new software is because my AirPods need to be the ones recording when I'm working with my hands and doing stuff. So I've got the AirPods all charged up. Also, this software allows me to pause the video whenever I want and do a few jump cuts. So that's a giant step forward from what the normal camera can do. All right, now that I have dropped the camera and made a fool of myself, I want to show you the reason why I want to make a video today. Because we're here in the Temple of Technology, and it's upgrade day. After we got Lindsay's
standing desk conversion setup, we found out very quickly that her monitor, while a very good monitor, a very decent monitor, was not going to cut it, force it to stand, mainly because it does not have an adjustable stand on it. It just has a single position stand and you could tilt, but we needed something better. Otherwise, her neck's going to kill her. And the whole point of getting the sit stand was that it would be more comfortable for her and her neck. I am actually going to walk away from the video briefly, walk into another room entirely, praying that Bluetooth will still work in here, and we'll check to see later if that did anything. I'm going to walk into this room over here, still wearing my Bluetooth headsets, the AirPods, which work great for everything but the camera, which I found out today is why my last couple of videos where I was wearing a Bluetooth headset just didn't come out at all. Okay, so I want to show you the new monitor. It is the Dell S2421. It is a great monitor. It is a cut down version of the monitors that I have on my desk because Lindsay doesn't need quite the DisplayPort capabilities that I've got for, and multiple monitors all the way around. I'm also trying out a 240 frames per second video rate on this video. We'll see if that is going to do anything like what we want it to do. But for right now, I'm going to unbox this thing and go over the components. So this arrived in a box that was huge, like this. And it's mostly air, but the monitor came not broken, which is what I really want. At least I'm assuming that it's not broken. All I have done is take the tape off here. All right, so we've got warranty. Warranty is very important. We've got an HDMI cable. We found out earlier this week that when we were moving the monitor up and down and it caught on something, the HDMI cable would just snap, and not a lot of pressure took it to snap because this fitting here would just bend like that, bend like that when it caught any sort of obstacle, and we're pretty tight the tolerances on that desk, so I knew we needed a new monitor for that purpose, but specifically we needed one with a bottom facing ports so that that up and down motion would not be an issue. We've got our standard power cable. I'm very happy to have a standard power cable here instead of one that requires its own transformer. Transformers take up a lot of space on the desk or under the desk, and they lead to tiny cords getting snapped, just like the HDMI cable. This is the foot. We'll show you the monitor in place in a little bit as a much larger foot, but it's also a circular empty ring. This is a solid metal foot. It's gonna not go anywhere. I'm very happy about that. Our instructions for how to put it together. We'll be going over these in detail in just a bit. All right. I always like to see solid cardboard construction in a box, mainly because I don't like my shit to show up broken. By the way, if you have not seen Idiot with a Microphone video before, I am the son of a sailor, the grandson of a sailor, and I have a lot of sailors for friends. And my vocabulary is pretty fucking foul. All right, so here we've got up and down motion, which is exactly what Lindsay needs. We're going to screw this on there, and then this will right into the back of the monitor. All right, the panel looks good. I'm not hearing the tinkling of glass, which makes me exceptionally happy. All right, that is a solid LCD panel. It's got, as you see, a very slim bezel. This is the step-down version of the monitors that I have on my desk. As you see here, it has both DisplayPort and HDMI, and but only one of each. The monitor on my desk has two HDMI in, one HDMI 2.0, and the other being normal HDMI. Plus, my monitor's got the USB hub, and another bunch of peripherals that we can work on this. But this is exactly what Lindsay needs. It's a flat panel monitor. It is light. It's very light. I think with the stand, this thing is going to be about 7 pounds. That's what I saw online. So I'm going to close up this box here. In fact, you don't have to see that. So I'm going to hit pause. And just like that, the box is closed. Being able to pause these iPhone videos is the giant, giant step forward I have needed for my media empire, because I like my Android phone, but mainly the only reason I use it is when I have to record something I'm doing on this iPhone, or because it pauses videos. All right, it's pretty easy to get these things in place. Dell does a good job with their monitors. That's how easy it is to assemble these monitors. And here we have, yeah, you can see that. So screw there, screws in toolless. It rotates. We like rotations. Really have to hand it to the people at Dell, because this is done. This is finished. It's available for use right now. The Acer monitor we're replacing with this rather, took a bit to get together. Not as easy to go as this was. So I am going to pause this video and we'll reconvene in the other room and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. All right. No time has passed for you, but for me it's been a few minutes. I, in fact, have done all of my power cable running right now, because it's a giant snooze fest to watch somebody.
And we are back. We've got our tasty beverages. Has some low carb hot chocolate here with a little mood boosting mushrooms to it. Helps you sleep at night. And some water. So, back to the game. Here we are. Ghost Widow has waited patiently for me to rescue the Mystic, so I'm going to go do that. I noticed that I wasn't thinking, and I left my jetpack on the entire time. That's 5 minutes off my 5 hours. I just wasted. What was I thinking? I may have to spend another few resources to get myself squared away. Okay. 247 of 1,000 longbow. That's a lot of longbow. However, they're easy to come by, those longbow. There's quite a few of them you can defeat in the new wedding mission if you play the red version, the villain version, red side, blue side. For example, there's some longbow right there. No preamble, just gonna start pounding on these guys. I have a number of keybinds that I have set to make it easier to target. Most importantly, I have found the tilde over here on my left hand side to be target the nearest enemy, no matter what they are. This is incredibly useful because tab targeting is a pain in the ass. And it doesn't always get you the right one when you actually want to fight. But using the tilde and target closest. Oh, alpha slot unlocked. Okay, that's important stuff right there. And now I've unlocked all new contacts to give me missions because I have unlocked my Alpha Incarnate slot. And why this is important. So I've been earning Incarnate threads and shards throughout all of these fights. So we're going to go here to our powers menu. Incarnate abilities. There's my alpha slot. It's unlocked. We want to create an alpha. We have a variety of different ones, but if we go, remember here, I've got my build all set up. The one I want is this one, Musculature Core Paragon. So we're going to do that. Muscular Core Paragon. It just boosts my damage significantly all the way around. There's a couple different ways to make these powers. One is to use Incarnate Shards, but I don't have any Incarnate Shards. I do, however, have Incarnate Threads. Alright, so I'm going to need biomorphic goo, meditation techniques, and genomic analysis. I really only have enough to make a biomorphic goo. So we're going to need 50 more of those. So it's a long-term process. It's not going to happen overnight. Actually, we'll have it overnight, but it's not going to happen immediately. Checking on longbow. I haven't really killed that many more longbow, but defeated that many more longbow. Oh, we have a viewer. Hello, viewer. Hello, Devzon. Pleased to see you. Welcome to the stream. I'll send you a message here. There, I've typed it in. We'll head back to my reference pages. I am doing the Ghost Widow Patron arc to unlock the Ghost Widow power pool of Soul Mastery for my Stalker. Lurking is cool, man. I'm happy to entertain in my idiot with a microphone way. Should probably go back to the proper stream now. More bad guys up there. We're going to wait for the Assassin Strike to recharge. Go for the one who's dressed differently than the others. They're typically important. Turn on my moment of glory! Because there's a lot of them. And only one of me. Normally I would pop a column of these inspirations, but I'm about to level up and I don't want to waste it. Oh, look at that. Here I am not paying attention. Which means my moment of glory is over. Because I wasn't paying attention. I don't really need it, but it's nice to have. I mean, I spent the endurance to get it working. Might as well get the benefits. I've played it since live, and I played it during live, for as matter. It is my all-time favorite MMO. I have played, I want to say hundreds, but it's probably dozens. The reason why I want to say hundreds of MMOs is because I used to write video games. And it was my job to test new games and analyze them, see the kind of things that they were doing right and wrong, and report on it back to my corporate masters. So, but I played City of Heroes a lot back in the day. I liked it far better than WoW, better than Ultima, better than Lineage 2, better than Aeon, which I actually worked on. Ion, rather. I worked on Ion. I wrote it. And when I worked for NC Softwest, I played on Victory! That's important enough to type in. So that everyone can see. I also played on Protector and Guardian. But Victory was my primary server. That's where most of my characters were. In fact, at the end of things, I had 2 accounts I was paying for every month. I was mostly paying for them with gift cards. But I played on Freedom too. In fact, my stalker was on Freedom because I had friends who played on Freedom. And when they stopped playing the game, I just moved all of my characters on Freedom over to Victory. Time to activate another moment of glory! I looked it up, and as of this morning, I have 70 level 50 characters out of the 115 characters that I have made. Many of them have veteran levels. This is one. The reason why I'm playing this particular character tonight is because I noticed that I hit level 50. No. I didn't write anything for City of Heroes. I wrote a game called Ion. A-I-O-N. For NC Softwest. I would love to have worked on City of Heroes. But it was, by the time I started working for NC West in 2009, development for City of Heroes had moved down to Los Angeles. I wrote a game called Terra for a good decade of my life. Decade plus, actually. It was 11 years or so that I worked on that game, both pre-release and post-launch. And a bunch of other MMOs that my company, En Masse Entertainment, localized and published. I don't know where this mystic is. But I'll find them eventually. Frankly, shocked I haven't leveled up with all these XP just riding around here. I tell you what I don't miss is Champions Online. About to die again. There we go. But it's alright, the moment has been prepared for. Having that speedy self-res is a giant boon to melee characters. I love it on my War Shade. I love it a lot. Because, you know, I'll pop out of Crab Assault form, or White Dwarf, or Dark Dwarf, as it is, into humanoid form, drop a bunch of nukes, usually get whacked because there is no psi resist whatsoever for that humanoid form. And then I'll be dead in the middle of bad guys, and I'll throw off another nuke. What is my favorite archetype? I love to play controllers. One of the very first characters I made was a Mind Kinetics controller called the Young Jung Republican, and I have an Empathy Illusion controller that I love to play. It is my second highest level character. My War Shade has 61 veteran levels. My Empathy Illusion controller has 47. But that's a very interesting question. Let me check my AT counter. So, controllers, I have I have 14 controllers out of 115 characters. I have, looks like 8 Dominators, 10 Blasters. I think Corruptor might be the highest number that I have because, yeah, Corruptor is the one I have the highest, but it's not my favorite. So I have 15 Corruptors. So by one, I have more Corruptors than I do controllers. But 10 of those Corruptors are the same character. Because I did a thing where the gimmick is that the character is transdimensional, and she can pull duplicates of herself in from other dimensions who all have different powers. So the characters all have essentially the same build, just different power pools and sets. But like, they all use the same travel power, and they all take the same incarnate powers. And I use generally the same power pool powers for them, just with slightly different slotting for the attacks, because sometimes the slotting doesn't map one-to-one. For heroes or villains, I really prefer the controller as the powers. I know you can have villain-themed controllers, so I have one that I made just the other day, in fact. But I like the balance of the controller, as it's meant to be played with tanks and scrappers, whereas on the villain side they didn't have power set proliferation until very late in the live run, and so you couldn't have tanks and blasters on the red side of things. You had to make do with corruptors and brutes. And things and content were balanced accordingly. So I believe there is more content and more opportunities balanced for controllers, and they're also more fun to play. Because that was the only way you could get pets at the time, right? Was to be a controller. That's before masterminds were a thing. I gotta make it. Nope, gotta pop it. They're shooting me from afar. Oh wait, I have a gun. Did I fail? What happened? Was that on a timer? Dude! That mission was on a timer? There was no timer. Oh, alright. Mystic is defeated. Unfortunately, must... Oh! That Guardian I picked up was an escort. I didn't notice that it was an escort. Escort to exit. But... Ghost Widow is not going to be too upset with me. Give her a call. Fortunately, I was able to commune with his departed soul. Once I learned what he knew, I went to confront Sirocco. But instead of the battle I expected, he and I have been talking. This provided some interesting insights. It seems he learned of the discovery of my base because he has been trying to keep the discoverer out of his own affairs. That person is no less than Numina, the spirit mystic of the hated Freedom Phalanx. And we have drawn up a plan against her. Oh yeah, let's go fight Numina. Because that always ends well. 3 components that I need. Once we have those, Numina will soon come to regret her interference in Arachno's business. Arachnos! Alright, I gotta get to Nerva. I believe I can use the Ouroboros portal to get to Nerva. Let's find out. I can. Hooray! And, you know, it's 2 miles to fly, so ask me another question. That was delicious. See, if I had respected the teleport, I'd be there already. Even if I'd used super speed, I think I'd be there already, but... we use this time to do some bookkeeping. Do I pay attention to the City of Heroes lore? I do. I am deeply invested in the City of Heroes lore. It is... I'm a writer, right? So I'm always reading the things that are on the screen and the stuff that's going on. But I enjoy the story arcs for both the villains and heroes. especially the signature arcs and some of the deep story that's available to them. I have one of my characters, Cosmos Unicron, has been just working his way through every story arc in the game to collect the badges from Ouroboros. And so I've been exposed to a great deal of that story. Plus, I played a lot of the game in live. I play pretty much every day, City of Heroes. Oh, I'm terrorized. Had to pop my moment of glory. Forgot that these guys debuff defense. Might be an issue. See if I can get a little more healing out of this. Nope, no more healing to be had. I'm gonna die, but I'll res right up. Who is my favorite City of Heroes NPC? That is an interesting question. I think it's Dr. Ion. Because he's crazy. He's crazy whack job. It's certainly not Synapse or Positron, because those guys have bullshit task forces. They need... Positron got a revision, right? When it's split into Positron 1 and Positron 2. Oh, wow. That is... I gotta die again. Okay, well, I'll just wait for these guys to wander off and heal myself, and I'll keep talking about that. But the Synapse task force is still the original length. It's still too long. It has a bunch of patrols to run around the city that are unnecessary. There's 2 levels of patrols on that task force that do essentially the same thing. And so you could cut out 2 of the Kill All Clockworks and the second round of patrols, or the first round of patrols, rather. And it would just flow a lot faster. It'd be wonderful. That having been said, back in the day, we used to love the Synapse Task Force. We loved it because Positron was such a slog. No, I'm talking character-wise. And so I don't like the lore of that character because he is a super speedster. He's supposed to be the first really fast guy to run around and do stuff. And he just sits around doing nothing when he could do his entire task force on his own. Positron's the same way. Positron at least has the excuse that he was hurt during the war, right? But the Dr. Ion character, he's a crazy mad scientist who's in the middle of all these villains doing crazy mad scientist stuff. And he is always playing them all off against one another. And whenever things go bad for him, he just goes back in time. Yeah, he is the City of Heroes Flash. But not cool. Because the Flash is my favorite superhero. And Synapse is far from being my favorite superhero. Alright, 13 seconds on my self-res. Nothing in this game should challenge Synapse. And yet, he can't do his basic patrols to protect his part of the city. And he has us to do it for him. That's kind of crappy. Doesn't make a lot of sense other than somebody had to stand there and give those missions, and so it might as well have been Synapse. I will say it is deeply satisfying in the wedding mission that's available now in Pocket D to punch Synapse in the face. Because he's running around with all of these super speed powers that nobody takes, like the big crazy tornado. And when he just goes spinning around like that, I just pop him one. Hit him with a stun to interrupt him, and that's like, who's fast now, buddy? Nobody. I liked when they added the Shining Stars low-level arc. I thought it did a better job of explaining the game than the basic character arcs, and so the not Freedom Phalanx characters of the Shining Stars were kind of fun to be hanging out with and do their character arcs. And when I go back to do flashback stuff, I always go and do all the Shining Stars arcs. Yeah, I'll get to it. I got build-up right here. Build-up's on a cooldown. The problem is that I need a respec. And so I have... ooh, look at that. So I don't have... This build is not optimized in any way. It's got a lot of gaps. It doesn't have the sets I think I really need. And so I am going to go from this build here to this build after this Patron arc. I could have done it to start the Patron arc, but I think it's more fun stream-wise to do it at the end. Oh, got me again. It's the defense debuff that gets you more than anything else. So, when those signature story arcs came out, I was already deeply involved in writing my own video game, Terra. And so I was only partially... I knew what was going on, and I did some of those arcs at the time, but they didn't thrill me. I thought it was some lazy storytelling. There was no need to do that. Now, actions have consequences, right? And not every hero lives forever, right? Not everybody's Superman. Even Superman died. Batman died, sort of. But Statesman was kind of an unknowable character, right? You couldn't really hang out with him. But now the Statesman Task Force has become the Miss Liberty Task Force. And that's kind of fun. To go hang out with Miss Liberty. The new generations of heroes. Now, that having been said, I still have a Statesman t-shirt that I got from conventions and whatnot for the days. I used to work for WizKids Games, and we made HeroClix figures. And we made HeroClix figures for City of Heroes, which is why when I really started getting involved in the game, I was already playing, but then, you know, it got more fun stuff. So Statesman's death didn't really affect me because Statesman didn't affect me. There wasn't, the all-powerful god Statesman, who is immortal and drank from the well of the Furies. His backstory is intensely tied to that of Lord Recluse, who has the same powers and yet a cooler outfit. So for all the various street level crime that goes on in the city, Statesman does nothing to stop any of it. Seems like a waste. There should be anti-statesman zones or some in-game explanation for why he can't do certain things. And so there wasn't one, and they got rid of the character. So it didn't impact my daily play at all. Psyche was more of an interesting death in that they had spent the Who Will Die arc was very long. And yeah, I saw that calls it niece, uncle. It's wonky. Oh, there's a bad guy here. I have to take him out. I am terrorized. Gotta back down this hall so I can get integration back up. Should just sit those there. Not a huge fan of Oren Bega. In fact, I'd say that it's my least favorite part of the game is going to Oren Bega, which is where I am now. All right. Pop over here. Rest for a moment. Click my thoughts. Just chuck that in there while I'm thinking about it. Get that up a little faster. All right. So I have been an idiot running around here fighting all these dudes that I don't have to fight. I am a stalker. I am sneaky. I think because you spend more time with Psyche than you do with Statesman. Not the Manticore connection. That's just man pain. I don't care about that much at all. But you spend time getting to know Sister Psyche. She had a task force, right? A very good task force that you would have to do. And sneak by here. Nothing to see. Looking for my glowies. Of course, this stuff's always in random locations, right? You can never find it if you're not listening, and I'm not playing the sound up because I'm streaming. This will help a little so I don't get lost in here. Aha! A bookcase. I like the character of Penelope Yin. Her backstory happens out of order, which is kind of neat. So before she became a big part of the history, right? She was just a random contact in Fault Line, and then the Clockwork King fell in love with her. Still not explained why. And then she eventually graduated to join the Freedom Phalanx, which was nice. That's a cool character. I'll grant that. Clue found. Oh, there it is. There's the last one. You find two, the other one reveals itself. And I'll just pop right up in there. I must have gone right by it. Or is it down below? It's coming here on the bottom, isn't it? Maybe it's at the top. Is it in the big ziggurat? Maybe I have to kill these dudes. I should kill them anyway. It's been a while since I punched something. Yep. It's not all that important. As I said, her backstory happens out of order, so you spend a lot of time getting to know her before that's relevant. Much like the reveal that Manticore went, undercover as an Arachnos agent. It's mentioned a couple times, but it's not really all that important. Oh, there it is. Hooray! Oh, mission complete. Thank you. Now I have to set a trap for Numina. I recall correctly, and I almost always do, especially with the Wikipedia page open right here. We have the incantation. We have the components. The only thing we're missing for this ritual is Numina. But don't think you can just go busting into Paragon City to find her. No, she's clever. And will have to be lured into our territory, then trapped long enough to hold her to the light. To the fight. That's what it says. And while I have an idea of how to trap her, I need to know more about her, how to lure her in. And that's where my spies have come in handy. Turns out that the Cray Corporation recently did a study of Numina. I want you to get it for me. Their more scientific perspective may give me the clue I need to draw Numina into the trap. Yes, let's do that. That sounds like fun. Use our Ouroboros portal. And we're going to the Granville area. Just in case I haven't done it already, let's make sure I got this badge. I did not have the badge. Hilarious. Typically I take, when I hit 50 and I'm trying to get extra merits, I go around and I fill out lore badges and exploration badges in the low level zones to handle all the unlocks. I haven't done that on this character because I hit 50 and then shelved it. I do know what Mendrosilos is, and I have done those Mendrosilos arcs a lot. That's a big spoiler though. We're gonna save that one for later. Two pieces of information. We're gonna try to stealth this. See if I can do it. Looking for glowies. Other people watch this. I mean, not tonight, but in general. I would rather talk about that on a stream proper. But you know, you can say whatever you want. It's just that I'm more focused now on finding this glowy. They hide these computers in all sorts of places. It's like the kind of place that Cray would hide important information, just sitting on an unsecured terminal in here somewhere. But they did not. Okay, wow. I like doing a lot of the Ouroboros stuff. Oh, this is promising. There's patter. And you're hanging with the Malta. But over here is what I want. Shazbot! I tried to do this a nice way, and you guys had to start firing at me. So now I gotta hit you with the paddles. Because it's always fun to whack a gunslinger, and there's badges for them. Badges for these power tanks and as well. Sneaky, sneaky. On occasion, I made some story arcs for the Architect Entertainment content back in live. They were awful. I had messed up the triggers for some of these things. It was meant to be a series of clones of a Chimera type. Anyway, I did a bad story arc. But I do go in there and farm on occasion. I sometimes just like to go punch stuff, and that's a good way to spend time, is just pop in a farm and punch things. Plus there's badges. That's 10 other badges you can get towards your 1,000 badges total. The rising star among our legions of darkness. I have heard that Ghost Widow herself has come to depend on you, and I see evidence of this in your presence. As she prepares her trap for Numina, she sends you to speak with me. Yes, I can create a spell that will act as a beacon for Numina's psychic sight. And while I am preparing it, no doubt the Widow seeks a group of carnival revelers for their masks. Oh dear. I know just the place outside St. Marshall. You'll need to gather about 6 of the lesser masks that have not been bonded to a wearer. You should also take the mask of the revelry's leader, a woman named Raelia. No problem. Let's go. Let's go beat up some carnies. Oh wait, I can just go there from here, can't I? Oh, come on. Am I trapped? Oh. I don't miss that collision in any way. Click. Because I have a jetpack and I can fly. While I'm doing that, let's check in on our incarnate thread status. How many more threads have we gotten? Oh, quite a few. Wow. Okay. Hey, we can make our first alpha slot, can't we? All right. So meditation techniques and genomic analysis. Create that guy, and then goo sand and gluon compounds. So I am 5 short of doing the gluon compound, but we'll get it. All right, now can I don't think I can equip that guy just yet. I can. Excellent. Boom. I've equipped an alpha. Now my damage is 33% higher. Higher. 6 masks. How do I get these masks? Carnival Revelers. Alright, so I'm looking for someone called Carnival Reveler, which is what we will do here. Oh. Look at that. It's a glowy. I slotted agility? I thought I did musculature. Oops. Well, hey, you know what? We can always make more. So after this mission, I'll equip the right one. It's not the end of the world to have an endurance boost. Thank you for your eagle eyes, though. I was a tad distracted. That won't be easy. I have to work my way to it. There. Oh, there she is. So let's just get her first. Yeah, it'd be nice to have those additional tiers. I like the ability to slot two at once. That'd be really cool. But that content wasn't finished. It had balance issues, which is why it wasn't implemented. And so the volunteer devs, I don't think, are going to be able to get that content ready for us. Without an infusion of development time. It takes a long time to get good code right. Yep. I have read the wiki. Alright, I got her. Wait for build up to get back in. Right, I'm just pounding away. Yeah, I got her. And I was able to jump to avoid her end drain. Three masts to go, and none of them are in here. So I don't believe they are. So I gotta fly around to find the rest. Yep. Very sneaky. That's what I am. It's like I stalk for a living. Oh, that's not dangerous at all, is it? Two of them in a row. We're definitely going to need to pop that moment of grace. Maybe I can get away with it. Save it for the next big fight. Come on, dull pain, dull pain, dull pain. There we go. Master Illusionist. Always a pain. Oh, got it in one. Excellent. Oh, there was back there. Okay. It must have been up on a... It must have been up on a catwalk. No biggie, I got a jetpack. I'll just fly right back. Oh, it was in an alcove. Nice. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. No, I'll go talk to him. I could just skip it, but I can just teleport wherever I want to go, right? More incarnate trials there waiting for me. Looks like a Renault Salt Strike Force is available. All the things I'll want to do eventually. I raised this guy to 50 as a hero, so I did Task Force Commander to get my Invader badge. I'm looking forward to doing all the Mayhem missions. Those are always fun. Probably do that as a stream. Not this weekend, but soon. On my Big Brute. I don't know if Ghost Widow could easily kill Lord Recluse. I believe her current state is tied to the Well of Furies. And he has an indefinite connection to it. He might be able to strip her power away. So, I arrive at just the proper moment. I have created this self-sustaining beacon, says Sirocco. I call it the Sand Riddle. Once set into motion, it will produce a great deal of psychic noise, all of which will look very ominous indeed to Numina. Take it to Ghost Widow as a token of my goodwill to her. But I should warn you, drawing Numina in, and even holding her in place are but a start. Those actions alone will not guarantee you victory. I seem to recall a story about bells and cats that might be appropriate, but I'll leave it up to you to handle. So I think it would be a fight between Ghost Widow and Recluse, but I think Recluse would win. Trust news reward. I will take these masks and the spells. Soon Numina's interference will be at an end. And it'll be thanks to you. Now, go into a longbow base and plant the beacon to lure Numina out. Numina will be drawn to it like a fly to honey. When she arrives, as she surely will, you may do with her as you wish. The spell I have performed will allow you to attack her and defeat her. I will draw out Numina. I was not aware of that, but it's kind of cool. Kind of a full circle deal on the Manticore thing. Oh, that's not where I want to go. I want to go to the Nerva Archipelago. I'll have to look that up, though. Lots of longbow in here. Alright, how many threads did I pick up in that mission? Not a lot. Oh, but I might be able to slot that musculature now. I did! Hooray! Now there's more damage. I've taken to using, instead of switching my incarnate shards into threads, I've been using them to craft base level alpha enhancements. Because why not? When you're vet level 61, right? Alright, where will I plant the psychic trap? We'll draw her like flies to honey. That is not the one. Sorry, Mario. Your psychic honeypot trap is in another castle. Huh. Well, I'll be around somewhere. I'll find it eventually. That's the fun of exploring things. I just did this. Make sure I clear out the bits. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so we're ready. Newman is coming. I'll fight her right here. Come on, Newman, I want to fight you in this hallway. There she is. How can I injure you? Because the plot device is fully powered. Alright, so I'll let you wander off a little bit. Bring myself back to life. Almost got her. Okay, so now I'm gonna need to use this. Oh, is that on? What's going on there? Ally res. Oh, I didn't get returned to life. I got the resuscitator. That's problematic. Now I gotta wait 3 minutes. 2 minutes. I bought the wrong temp power. So I'm gonna have to do this the hard way. Can I click it fast enough? Save it for after. She's healing, but not too fast. "60 seconds. I don't like where I am, though. "30 seconds. She's up to about 30% health. Okay, I got my finger on the button. Gonna wait till moment of glory is up and all the other heals. Swap those over. "30 more seconds and then I'll be ready to go. It's almost back to half. Three, two, one, go. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. How many of these guys can I take out while the moment of glory is active? Not a lot. I may want to reset because she's around the front. I'm going to go back to my base. Grab some heals. Maybe a couple of these. Okay. This should pop me right back to the mission entrance. And it did. Oh no, it did not! Curse you! Alright, well, we'll fly over there. Not the worst thing in the world. Three seconds till a moment of glory is up. I think we can use that time to our advantage. Take out some of these kids. Well, they're coming. They're unhappy. Hit me with a flamethrower. That's not cricket. There's Numina. Oh, she's all healed up. Alright, we're going to take out these ads before I can fight her effectively. That's on me. I did it wrong. Okay, Newman, now it's just you and me. Let's have a chat. Psychic tornado is no joke, yo. Wow. She rolled me. Okay, well, I'm just going to wait that out then. 90 seconds. Keep an eye on her health bar. This could take a while. Luckily, there's no timer on this mission. Almost had her. So close. So all I should have to do is resurrect and she'll come running. Should come running. There she is. I got you. Come on now. Boom. No, she says. All right, and just like that, I unlocked my patron pool. It's supposed to be hard. Grant you access to powers unlike those you've had before. Powers only I could control, but that I'll share with you. Now I'll give you another gift, my loyal villain. If your powers have developed in ways you regret, I will grant you the power to change them this once. Speak with Arbiter Lupin and Nerva. He will help you use my gift. Alright. Available missions. And now the next story arc, but I will do that at another time. So I care a lot more about that respec. So let's head back to my base. And we'll do the respec. Here's my badge. Scroll up there. In a world of treachery, who can you trust but Ghost Widow? Who can you trust but Ghost Widow? I ask you. I'm laughing. I have that little one now. Show people. They should all be red. And it should all be no fill. Just managing my spreadsheet here. Pay it no heed. I'm going to talk amongst myself. Okay, I'm going to mark on my spreadsheet that I have unlocked the patron pool. Very important. And since we are here, we are going to type /respec. Okay, so first up, hide. Next up, power slice. Next up, a blading strike. Next up, reconstruction. Next up, assassin's blades. Next up, build up. Next up, fast healing. Sure, I pop over here. There we go. Fast healing. Next up, dull pain. Next up, I can take my first pool power, combat jumping, so I can dump a defense proc in it. And having another toggle. Next up, integration. Next up, my actual travel power, teleport. Next up, resilience. Next up, another pool power. I'm going to take boxing and then tough. Next up, sweeping strike. Instant healing. Weave. 1,000 cuts. And since I have unlocked it, soul mastery. Can take moonbeam. Get a snipe. Next up, my last pool power, hasten. Next up, shadow meld, another place to drop a proc. Next up, moment of glory, we use it very well. Next up, revive. Next up, placate. It's another way to get hide out of the deal. Okay. And now 3, 3, 5, 5, 7. 7, 9, 9, 11, 11. 13, 13. Yeah, hold on here. Get back to where I was. 13, 13. Reconstruction is 15. Stamina 15. Reconstruction 17. Integration 17. 19 is reconstruction again. Click, click. 21, Assassin's Blades. 23, Assassin's Blades. 25, Assassin's Blades. And tough. '27, tough. 29, resilience. And looking at the build, where are you? Where are you? Instant healing. 31. That's 2 into weave. And 1 into resilience. 33. That'd be 3 into resilience. That's not a bad plan. 34 is reconstruction and dull pain. $35 is a power, moonbeam. 36 will be all into moonbeam. 37 will be all into sweeping strike. 38 is a power. 39 is a slot for that power. And then 2 slots in sweeping strike. 40 is 2 slots in dull pain, 1 slot in moonbeam. 41 is a power. 42 is 3 slots in hide. Hold some procs. 43, 3 slots in 1,000 cuts. 44 is a power, moment of glory. 45 is a slot for moment of glory. And 2 slots for 1,000 cuts. 46 is a slot for moment of glory. 1 for fast healing. And 1 for... where is it? I saw it just now. 1 for fast healing, 1 for moment of glory, 1 for weave. All right. 47 is a power. 48 is a slot for weave. A slot for build up, way back here, and a slot for boxing. Parkinson procs. All right, and at 50, 2 slots in boxing, and 1 slot in build-up, and that is my build right there. Should be interesting. Okay, and now we've got these to deal with. Gaussians, but this is the wrong Gaussians, so we'll put that there for now. We're not using regenerative tissue in this build, so we'll put these here for later. We are using kinetic combat, so we will put that here in boxing. Accuracy damage, damage recharge, accuracy damage. Damage recharge. Damage endurance. Get these up the right way. And the last one is damage endurance recharge. Not using that one, so we'll put it there. Alright, stamina. We are using the proc and nmod. So, the proc and nmod. We'll save these for later. We're not using power transfer in this build, so we'll save those for later. Are we using reactive defenses? We are. We're using them in weave. No, that's Red Fortune using in weave. We're not using reactive defenses anywhere, except for scaling resist damage. So we'll save those for later. These can be sold. We're not going to use those at all. Not using any of those. Alright, so Stalker's Guile, we're using an Assassin's Blade. So we're using them in order. Using recharge chance to hide first. Assassin's Blades. And then accuracy damage. And then damage recharge. And then accuracy damage recharge. Not using Focus Smite in this build, so we will save those for later. We're not using these. I do like Power Transfer as a set. It's just not the one I picked for this. Alright, we are going to put all of these in Power Slice for right now until I can load it up with the Stalker sets. And then we will start loading these in. Endurance, recharge, build up. Sweeping strike. Yeah, it's going to be that, that, that. 1,000 cuts. Going to be that. We'll just toss that in there. Recharges, nothing is wasted. Some cuts, defense buff. Throw that in there. Actually, let's throw that there and there. Just so it's pretty. And these are all stuff I don't care about. So we'll sell them. And now we gotta put our trays to right. Okay, so we know that these go here. Powers. Power Slice. Bleeding Strike. Assassin's Blades. Build up. Placate we're going to put over here. Actually, I'll put it there. No, we'll put it there. Because I'm going to bind that to my mouse button. Combat jumping is my first toggle. My third toggle, isn't it? Because hide is my first toggle. Hey, almost done. A moment of glory right there. Put the revive where it was before. Put hasten up there. Put boxing here. Toughen weave. Something to have them. Put that on auto fire. If we missed any attacks, sweeping strike. 1,000 cuts. Triggering all these to see what their cooldowns are. Well, they're roughly the same, but Shadow Meld is a much better cooldown. Okay, good deal. Good to know. Yeah, that's what we want there. Alright, and I believe I've set up the teleport bind already. I have not. So let's set up the teleport bind, which will be bind left shift plus left mouse button, pow exec name teleport. Boom, just like that. We've still got this one from before, which makes it very useful when you're teleporting to be able to fly. Because then you don't fall. Okay. Any powers that I am missing? Fast healing, integration, dull pain, revive. Revive is up there. Right, I don't have my that, which we'll want. Rocket power. Put that revolver in there. Hey, buddy. My kitty's here. Hello, kitty. You were hiding while I was streaming. Why don't you be on the stream? Come on. Oh, such a good kitty. This is Pollock's cat. Say hello, Pollock's cat. You're on the internet. Mwah. Mwah. Okay, you don't have to be on the stream if you don't want to. But you should want to, because you're a famous internet kitty. And that is my respec. That is my patron powers. And I'm going to continue with those missions, of course, but not tonight. Run around my base, which is shared by both the villains and heroes on my account. I've got all of my enhancements and salvage color-coded. Important stuff. I've got, you know, this stuff blocked off so that looky-loos can't go there, but I can go there. Turn around. Dimension is beyond there. Can't go there. But you can see it. But in here is where all the power is. Woo! Power! Unlimited power! I've got it all gated with the force fields so that you don't have to Spock it. But, you know, Spock! And then up top, I've got big glass doors keeping me from falling into the reactor. Took a while to get this right. You can also see down into the rest of the base, so the rest of the base is shielded. Cool stuff, right? I don't get to come in here that often. But there's a guard. These dogs are guarding my living quarters. Got some slight meeting rooms here. A table for game night, in case people want to hang out. Got a workout room. Go swimming whenever I want. I can lounge. I was going to put some gym equipment in here. I just never got around to it. Similarly, I was going to put kitchens and washing machines in here. More stuff. My buddy was going to decorate half the space with me. In fact, let's just pull up the map. So I saved this entire bottom half here for my buddy to do. He was going to do the big outdoors base, which is something you can do. We can actually have an outdoors section open to the sky. It's pretty awesome. But I did set up these private bedrooms, which are nice. This is a private room here that someone can decorate if they want. You know, it's just me and my buddy using this. I don't have to unlock too much stuff. These are all empty with force fields on them. But this one's open. The doctor is in. Big 4-poster bed. You can sleep here. So these two are open for me and my buddy. Actually, I probably should put that door on there, huh? It's no biggie. But yeah, I only decorated one of these because that one's mine. But I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Right? Plenty of space to hang out and do stuff, to customize. Go down there. I used to have big empty rooms to the south of where I am now, but I wasn't using them for anything, so I just got rid of them. And now we're back in here. Here is my teleport room, which I showed you all earlier. This is where the medevac goes, and you can go in here and get inspirations. I can train here. Set up alternate powers. I can sell stuff here. In fact, I'm going to sell some things here. Sell these 3. And this is a costume person here. I can mess with my costumes if I so desire. And that is my villain, Sad Clown Laughing. He's a sad clown, but he laughs. Thank you for... We got another viewer. Oh, who's that? Who's here? Oh, Pledium. Hey, Pledium. I'm sorry I didn't see your stream earlier. I saw that you got online, but I was busy. And then the Radiant Darkness is here again. Thank you, the Radiant Darkness, for showing up. I do appreciate your guys following me. You missed pretty much my whole stream of the villain respec, but you got to see me villain patron pool unlock rather, but got to see me do my respec, I hope, and then hang out in my supergroup base. So that is it. Where do I need to park myself for my next day job badge? Oh wait, how many did I get? Enough for another enhancement? I did. Ooh, I can get another enhancement. Alright, let's go get the proc from the other set. And ninja run our way over here. Alright, so manage. The other set is going in here. Alright, so we're going to get Assassin's Mark, recharge time, recharge buildup. That's what we're going to buy. See Stalker Origin Enhancement. I'll manage all these offline. You guys don't have to watch that. I appreciate that you're here, though. And then we'll dump these off at the bank and move on. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. I always enjoy hanging out with people, talking about City of Heroes. You see me and Dev Sevenson. We're chatting for most of the stream. And we'll head back to the main screen. Alright, so I play City of Heroes and a lot of video games because I like it, I enjoy it, and it just helps me pass the time in these troubled days. But I do not monetize my stream. Thank you for chatting Radiant Darkness. I monetize myself. I am a science fiction author, and I write science fiction or write video games, help centers, whatever I can get paid to do. But jobs are tough these days. So if you want to help the stream out, keep the lights on around here, why not buy my books? As I mentioned, I am a science fiction author, and I run a small press, rsentertainment.com. rsentertainment.com is a progressive publisher who focus on independent authors and the stories that they tell. We have science fiction, space opera, dark fantasy, horror. We have all sorts of books at rsentertainment.com, and we sell our books into Amazon, into local bookstores, libraries. Wherever books are, that's where our books are. So hey, buy my books, support our authors, get some great reads, and I'll appreciate you forever. Thank you very much, everyone. My stream is ending. Y'all have a great rest of your day.